Good afternoon, Mr. Shazam. I'm going to hang out as long as you'll have me, but I can already tell that might not be too long. So enjoy our hello with Mr. Rescue Black Leopard Shazam, enjoying another day living wild at heart here. So welcome everyone, so happy to have you along with us on this live post. I am here in our Wild Woodlands area. This is Shazam, one of our rescued Wildcat residents. If I can zoom in here. Maybe getting ready to do a roll here, maybe a roll. Internet gets its legs under it, its feet under it rather, into examination. And he may be gorgeous, but darn it, Shazam, is that Wi-Fi just treacherous when I'm kneeled down over there. Maybe see if I can get a little closer to the building so at least we can get off the ground on the Alyssa slinking around somewhere in their free roaming yard. But welcome everyone. I might try to circle back here to Shazam in a moment once, like I mentioned, the Wi-Fi gets its feet under it, itself rather. But happy to have everybody along on this Wednesday here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I sure hope that you have read your e-newsletter today. I'm going to be talking a little bit about a large-scale rescue that the Wildcat Sanctuary played a major role in, helping remove all 15 cats of 300 animals from dilapidated roadside zoo in Oregon, a rather notorious one at that. So certainly be talking a little bit about that. I know that Tammy's going to expand on it tomorrow in her wrap-up. Obviously wanting the best outcome for the animals involved. We are limited to some of the details that we can share about these new rescues. We're going to be talking a little bit of kind of high level about some of the things that happened over the last week and how your support is so integral to making these types of new rescued lives possible here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Hi, Mr. Shazam. You look a little comfortable. I did kind of make a joke to myself. I was kind of cruising around the sanctuary here looking to see who was going to be my beloved subject for a live post. And, well, I saw Shazam kind of laying down here in his corner. He was upright, and he was kind of staring at this lawnmower. So I kind of made a joke to Shazam saying, I wonder if he thinks that the lawnmower is Elise, one of his favorite humans here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I'm going to get a few more hellos in with Mr. Shazam here in the background, but as always at the Wildcat Sanctuary, if any of our cats can be temperamental about humans, Shazam is certainly one of those. I don't want to overstay my welcome. But hi Sarah Bloomberg. Hey again. Susan Button checking in from across the pond. Hey, Susan. Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon from Kendra Ditto. And then there's Jeannie Curry. Hello to you. Ellen Carlson getting excited about Mr. Shazam. How could we not? Sarah Blumberg, thank you. Just read the e-newsletter and how exciting. That's right. And we were able to make a post on our Facebook page as well as our Instagram page, just letting everybody know that they played in Wildcats from a roadside zoo in Oregon. And of those 15 cats, 8 were big. 7 of them were kind of medium-sized exotic cats. And it was just 5 TWS employees on the ground, myself included, making this all possible. And obviously it's important, too, to understand the type of costs that the Wildcat Sanctuary incurs when doing those things. And knowing that a rescue mission, though it is something we're always going to say yes to, though it's something that is a valiant and honorable thing to do, it doesn't mean that it's free. It doesn't mean that when we're putting gas in the tank, when we're loading up our own medications and drugs to sedate these cats safely, it doesn't mean that it's being paid for by fairy dust or what have you. That's your donor dollars at work, and it's always good to underscore that these big undertakings aren't happening in a vacuum, and they're happening because your support is there, because you give towards things like Miracle Match to make sure that we have those operating funds 24/7, 365 for us to drop our hats and go and rescue. So certainly so, Mr. Shazam. He says, you've outstayed your welcome, human, and I will respect you as such. I also will say that I would love to go on a full-blown sanctuary stroll, but with me mentioning this rescue, there's some witness protection cats here around the sanctuary that I just want to be respectful and abide by our limitations of documenting them, but just to know that I would like to paint the sanctuary red, but there's a lot happening, even some construction included that we're waiting to share with everyone. Come June, you all know. Marcy Sanborn saying, I love the Shazam belly. And don't we all also know not to touch the Shazam belly? No touching that cat belly. I think I'm going to go walk over to the Ukraine Pride, everyone. Looks like it could be a good batch to hang out with, but welcome everyone if you are just joining us on this Wednesday here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. It not only is another wonderful Wednesday to be living wild at heart for 150 plus rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, but today actually earlier this week even, we got to announce that the Wildcat Sanctuary played an integral, a key role in the removal of 15 exotic wildcat species from a closed down roadside zoo in Oregon. I myself was also on that rescue. Elise and Rio were kind of the rescue team on the ground and flanked by Dr. C and Tammy. But kind of leading up to game day, the rescue day, there's so much that goes into it. And not only the planning, but getting there, getting from A to B, making sure that we have everything in tow, hitch. And you might have seen on our e-newsletter this morning, kind of talking about help expenses, because it's pricey. You can look at things like gas, which was over $1,000. You can look at things like the drugs that we use to sedate some of the cats on that property, total about $3,000. We all know that life ain't cheap these days, and boy is that magnified when it comes to big cats and the rescue industry and helping these animals get to a safe place. It can be very costly, and you know that the Wildcat Sanctuary is always going to be there to step up to these types of tasks, and that's because of your support and the support you guys ensure our rescues here. And even that type of support extending, and you guys know our witness protection program is that we're now home to some new witness protection cats, and without you even meeting these cats, your donor dollars are touching them and supporting them and are setting them on a course for a life of success and compassion here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. So yeah, Maria Vaughn kind of answering Sarah's question. Wait, they're already there. And yes, we do have new witness protection cats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And then I obviously, like I mentioned earlier, we're just limited in the information that we can share due to these types of agreements with law enforcement agencies as this court case is still ongoing. One thing that we were able to provide in that e-newsletter, and maybe someone can link it here in the comments as well, is a link to a news article about what exactly was found at this property, some of the animal welfare violations, and just all outright animal cruelty that was happening. And for you guys to read that yourself, there's a link in our e-news page to a few articles, and I'm sure you guys can find some on your own by now, just to give you a better idea of some of the conditions at that facility and how thankful we are that the cats are now at Sanctuary. Pretty quiet time from the Ukraine Pride here. See if I can zoom in and see. That looks like Stefania in the front here and her sister Prada in the back. It's worth letting everybody know that Miss Prada is going to be celebrating her 3rd birthday this Saturday. And just so conveniently, Prada also shares a 3rd birthday with Nova, the tiger. So Prada, who is that lion right there in the middle of your screen, you got Stefania up front, then it goes Prada and Lacia sleeping in the back. And then this big lug sleeping over here. But the happiest of birthday to you, Miss Prada, and we're going to do a little something special for you and make a post on Saturday as well. So know that you will be seen and heard on your birthday and then some, pretty girl. And of course, on a day where I would love to have a conversation with the folks, I can tell that the comments are being a little funky and they're not coming in as frequently as they should be. But by now, again, I'm sure many of you have read the e-newsletter that was sent out by us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary today. I don't know if this is a great angle. And And as well as a post that we made on our Facebook's Sanctuary's Facebook page, kind of detailing, or rather sharing some of the details that we can about this rescue. And then, of course, encouraging your support to help defray some of the large expenses that Gale Rescue. Very much am so thankful for those stepping up and helping to defray some of those expenses. But just like I mentioned earlier in the live, it really adds up when you are on the road to rescue. And not just the gas, like I mentioned, and not just the drugs to help sedate the cats, but even the staff who are there. They're on the clock and helping cover our staffing cost for these types of rescues. And those types of staffing changes even extend to back home at the sanctuary, where maybe there's people having to work a longer shift or have their shifts moved around, since we're kind of filling gaps and holes from caretakers who are out and away from the sanctuary on rescue. So certainly the caretaking costs are one to consider when thinking about the expenses on these types of rescues, and we appreciate everyone, or anyone rather, taking that into consideration when giving their gift. Party with the pride. Happy birthday, Prada and Nova. You are right about that. Kristen Strong saying we need a party for Prada and Nova on Friday. Well, we actually have some enrichment in the works, and I'm hoping that we have a cute little series of photos and videos to post on Saturday. Let's see here. Where can I go? Maybe we'll see if Sophie and Gino are in a good spot over here. I'd love to hang out with them. We did get some Ukraine Pride time in last week, and missed out on Sophie and Gino. So I think that is who we will go and spend some time with. Faith getting excited about Taras. Don't worry, we got a good look at that big sleeping lug. If you're able to rewatch the post later, you'll see that he is out like a light and is living the sweetest life thanks to people like you. And also, too, it's always worth mentioning, everyone, is certainly, as a nonprofit here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, we rely on donations for support. And we live in a day and age where not everybody has $5, $10, $20 to give, which is totally, totally understandable. So especially, too, as we're kind of highlighting the fact that the Wildcat Sanctuary did this momentous thing, help rescue these 15 big cats from this dilapidated zoo in Oregon, and knowing that, hey, maybe I don't have the financial support to give, but I have the power of social media to share, to like, to comment, to tag, to do all of these things to help propel this type of exciting and important news into the social media sphere. And I don't want to speak too loudly. Hey, you two. Hi. I know, I don't want to startle a pretty lady, which is why I'm going to go all the way to the end of the hallway. I never want to startle a pretty lady. Sophie watching me every step of the way here. I'm also surprised, speaking of watching me every step of the way, I'm also surprised one of these two sisters, I see one of them making their way over to me. Alana and Aurora didn't come and stalk the paparazzi here. But yes, just as I was saying, everyone, the power of the click, the power of the tap on your phone, being able to share these types of major sanctuary events go a long way towards helping garner the support for these new rescues, and of course building that kind of support system that allows us to drop everything and do these types of rescues when we're called upon. And certainly so, another important part about this rescue is acknowledging that it was coordinated through the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance, and that Tammy, as the rescue coordinator of the Big Cat Sanctuary Alliance, was made aware of this case, and boom, jumps into action, communicating with our other sister sanctuaries within the BCSA to make sure that they have space for these cats, and that they're going to get any and all details coordinated so that they're right there alongside of us there on these rescue days to help. So I think that that's another kind of awesome and wonderful aspect about the industry that we work in, is the community and the teamwork that comes together to benefit the rescues in the end. And for all of that to kind of come together to make sure that those 15 big cats are in places where they're going to receive compassion, they're going to receive care, and it's their forever home where they never have to receive mistreatment or anything like that ever again. You can really peel back the layers of the onion, the rescue onion that is, and just how many things that we're thankful for, how many things are so important during these rescues, and just all is, you know, so much you can kind of look at it at different angles, and it just kind of helps inform how much detail there is with these types of rescues and how many moving parts there are, how many things are just flying through the air all at once and you need to look at it and grab what you need and go. Alana and Aurora are looking rather regal on their big tall platform across the way. That's one of my favorite sanctuary installations there. That platform in particular, I think it's about the size of my apartment. It's hard to overstate just how large that platform is, and makes for the perfect kind of basking space for these two sisters. It looks like it's going to be Aurora, who's down lower on the stairs, and it's going to be Alana a little bit higher up on the top level of the platform. One little thing that I can tell that that helps me with Aurora is you're going to notice, this is a really good angle, everyone, is that she has a little bit more of a pointed top to her head, as opposed to Aurora has a more rounded top to her head. So I know that sometimes we talk about coat color in between, we talk about details with their eyes, how, for example, Aurora is a little bit more cross-eyed than her sister, although her sister is cross-eyed. But I'm looking at the top of the head, I'm kind of noticing how there's a little bit of a point at the top, letting me know that this is Alana. And if it's going to be a little bit more rounded, well, she was facing a better direction, that's going to be Aurora. So a little cat factoid here, ID factoid for everyone. I know that's something that we're all constantly trying to, you know, keep those feathers in our cap of, you know, who's Phoenix or Nunda or, you know, what have you. Is that Bruno or is that Fiona? Well, I guess Bruno only has 3 legs, so that's a dead giveaway. But you guys get what I'm driving at here. Like I mentioned, I would love to kind of paint the sanctuary red, but we kind of have some projects that are ongoing here that we're looking forward to sharing here once June rolls around, which will be as soon as next week, as well as some of those, that there being some new witness protection rescues here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I also encourage, I've kind of mentioned the witness protection program and kind of went over it in a higher search bar in the top right-hand corner, and just type in witness protection. It'll bring you to a webpage that kind of details our witness protection program. It actually talks about some of our former witness protection rescues, and I say former is because these rescues are trapped, or I should say caught up in these ongoing legal cases. And so for reasons you can obviously understand, we're not able to freely talk about these cats until these legal cases have fully concluded. So you'll learn a little bit more about how our witness protection program works. You'll learn about some of the cats who have, you know, I could say graduated from the witness protection program and how important your support was for them the entire life here at the sanctuary, even before you knew them, even before these rescues were benefiting from your support. And speaking of which, I wanted to walk over here. This is Tarek and Polina's yard, who are 2 former witness protection cats, as well as Mr. Noah here, who's also a former witness protection cat, who looks like he's enjoying himself with a big old cat nap. Really is the vibe here as we move into summer, where, you know, you'll see plenty of kind of cat activity in the morning, late morning, meaning the cats are fed, and then for the majority of the day it's cat nap time. And you'll see kind of activity start picking up around 4:35 again, and a lot of the cats kind of get up to no good in the best way possible after 5 p.m. where a majority of the caretaking staff is gone. We still have our PM caretaker, but there's just a little kind of something in the air, it seems like, with you kind of after hours here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Sherry Dune V asking, I received my copy of Uproar yesterday. Thank you. Hey, that's so wonderful, Sherry. Awesome to hear it. And I hope you enjoy it. Every page, every image, it's all thanks to people like you. Jenny Wire, yay. And Jenny, you're one of our seasoned sanctuary volunteers, and I would even, I potentially even could be bested in an ID contest against you. You mentioning that's a great way to tell these girls apart, talking about Alana and Aurora and their head shapes. So I appreciate that, Jenny, and you're right. I know, I think oftentimes I try these kind of tips and tricks with IDing some of our rescues, and I try to get it lined up perfectly for a live post, and it just doesn't come to fruition. But that one worked out pretty well, where you could really see the difference in the shape on the top of those girls' heads. I was maybe wondering if Noah would perk up, but I saw that he is continuing to nap. I had a great little interaction with Mr. Noah earlier today, taking some photos and video, and Tarek and Polina were actually walking along their shared wall and giving him some chuffs, and Noah was giving them chuffs. And you would know that Noah recently lost his companion Elizabeth about 2 weeks ago, and so also, as you know, whenever that type of those types of things happen, where a member of a bonded pair passes, we obviously make sure that that other cat is not being forgotten, so to speak, and making sure that that cat's getting extra attention, extra love, the types of things that they need when they're caretakers, where they have designated times of the day where they get to sit and socialize with Noah. And he also was kind of moved up the list onto some of our Chores and More volunteers who go around the sanctuary and read to some of the cats. So just know that we appreciate you keeping Mr. Noah in your thoughts, and that he continues to do well in the absence of Alyssa, and we know that, oh yes, I saw you. And we know that he's always going to hold a special place for that girl in his big tiger heart. Well, 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 everyone. I really feel like I was all over the place on today's live, both verbally and physically here, visiting with a variety of lions here, but got to kick off the live with Shazam, and throughout the live we were obviously talking about the exciting news of the Wildcat Sanctuary helping rescue 15 wildcats from a closed-down roadside zoo in Oregon, a rather notorious one too. And so I appreciate all of you guys tuning in this live to hear more about that. Tammy has her wrap-up tomorrow on Thursday, where we can expect to hear more about that. But please keep a close eye on our social media so you can cover the costs of some of that were incurred over this rescue, because it was a big one, and wouldn't have been possible without your support, and we're so thankful for you guys continuing math. So from a very, well, I still got some hijinks in them, but I'd say overall rather chill Ukraine Pride, I want to wish everyone an excellent rest of the day. Maria Stahl is wondering how Noah was doing, and I'm glad to hear that, Maria, and I'm glad we got to give you a little update on him. I have, like I said, some nice clips of him kind of socializing with Tarek and Polina, so we'll be sure to post a clip and a short update on Mr. Noah too later this week. Taras just can't be bothered. What does a lion dream about, I wonder? All right, everyone. This is kind of a classic Minnesota goodbye. I got sucked in by cats being cute here and just kept talking. So I hope everyone has an excellent rest of their Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, and we will be posting our wish lists later on this afternoon. So please keep an eye out for that. You guys help out in a weekly way, which we so much appreciate. From litter to supplements to, hey, even things that humans need at the sanctuary. We're so appreciative of you helping in that way. But for now, Miss Lecia, Stefania, Taras, and Prada, I want you guys to continue having a lazy and relaxing day, because you deserve it here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We wouldn't have it any other way. And that goes to you, our awesome TWS supporters and followers. Well, maybe not too lazy. We still got some time until 5 o'clock here, folks. But still a relaxing and wonderful one to all of you out there. And again, from us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, we will see you back here tomorrow.